Welcome, Virgo, to your monthly horoscope for December, for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. This month begins with the Sun in the part of your horoscope to do with your environment, to do with your emotions, your family, your sense of security. Also, Jupiter initially is in this location, and Jupiter, of course, is about expansion. And Mercury, your ruler, moves into this location on the 9th of the month. So there is a chance to think about certainly planning your Christmas festivities in terms of how you're going to receive people in a practical way, but also giving yourself a little bit of time here and there to just tune out if you need to recuperate. But of course, this is a very busy time of the year. And with Mercury initially, along with Mars in the sign of Scorpio, which is very much to do with interaction with others, I think you're going to be very busy. In fact, talking of Mercury, on the 7th of this month, it eventually comes out of shadow. If there has been some snares or snags, perhaps with people who live next door, with siblings, perhaps about those Christmas arrangements, or there's been a trusted domestic appliance which has gone on the blink since the 31st of October, it wouldn't be a surprise. Although Mercury ended that retrograde on the 20th of November, it only gets to the point where the retrograde began on the 7th of this month. So something that can speed up around your thinking or your ideas, which can greatly please you at that point. But of course, as this month begins, you do have Saturn and Pluto, the two big hitters, the two most influential outer planets, still in your sector of joys, of personal expression, of love, and anything to do with your children if you have them. And over the last 6 or 7 months, Saturn has been putting the squeeze on, getting ever closer to Pluto, ready for when they come together exactly on the 12th of January next year. And in fact, by the end of this month, it is inching closer to that point. So that has, at times, perhaps put a bit of a dampener on proceedings for you. But you get a wonderful change on the 3rd of this month, Virgo, because then Jupiter moves into the most exuberant part of your scope, where it's going to be for 54 weeks. Now, this hasn't happened for 12 years. So it's going to really give you a platform to be much more self-expressive, to embrace your ideas and talents and have the confidence to express them to the people you encounter. But also, as this month begins, Venus is in this location too. And Venus in the 5th house is about as good as it gets. And through to the 19th, it's going to give you a lot of extra confidence about how you look, your personal appearance and attractiveness. But also Venus is alongside Ceres, the asteroid to do with nurture. And this is very good. This is saying to you there's going to be more opportunities for you to feel at peace with who you are and what you have to offer. It is true that there is on the 4th a quarter moon. And this clashes not just with the moon in Pisces, but also with Neptune. And in the following week, despite all these positive vibes coming in, there could be something that seems a little out of kilter. Maybe someone close to you is a bit confused or finding it hard to share your reality. Try to stay as cool as possible, because from the 6th to the 10th, Venus is forging a quite wondrous link to Neptune, and if you're single and have a date across those days, it could bring some Christmas romantic magic to your situation. Also, Mars in Scorpio, which is very positive for you, gives you extra passion around your ideas, is angling up brilliantly to Neptune through to the 18th. This suggests that if there is someone that you want to collaborate with, whether it's in a friendship situation, whether it's around a joint hobby, or perhaps a closer romantic context, it gives you a balance between your desire to say how you feel, but also relate it in a more sensitive and receptive way. Now, on the 9th, Mercury does relocate, as I said before, into Sagittarius. This could see you just making some last minute alterations and changes, thinking more carefully about your home environment. On the 12th, however, there is a full moon. This occurs in the sign of Gemini and is going to see your emotions quite close to the surface. If you are struggling to balance that home life scenario that is a struggle for many of us these days, then there may be something that you can delegate to somebody, but if it is work pressures that are closing in on your desire to have more time for yourself, that may be more difficult to handle. But if you can, try to discuss how you feel with someone close. With Mercury in the 4th house, there could be a tendency for you to be a little bit inclined to bottle things up and let emotions go around your mind. Try to avoid this temptation. However, on the 20th, Venus moves into the 6th solar house, the sign of Aquarius, which is great for you because this is very much in keeping with the values of your sign. It's kind of to do with having simpatico and being prepared to sacrifice and help others. Also, from the 16th through to the 24th, Mars forges 2 influential links with both Saturn and Pluto. So here you can find your voice, but also the structure through Saturn and the desire for change through Pluto. So something can alter in your situation, either within you or your actual environment, which can please you greatly. It's certainly one to encourage you on. Now on the 22nd, the Sun moves into Capricorn. This is wonderful for you. It's going to give you an extra sense of enthusiasm for the festivities. There is a gorgeous solar eclipse on the 26th, and your ability to showcase your talents as the Sun meets with Jupiter towards the end of this month really gives you a fantastic opportunity as you head into the new year. But also on the 29th, Mercury, your ruler, moves into this playful location. Your sense of humour can be at the heart of what goes on around the holiday period, but on Christmas Day itself, you may find yourself just a little bit more sentimental, just quiet, quite happy to see other people having fun and just doing those few supportive tasks to make sure that they do. In the last 4 days of this month, the North Node is in opposition with Jupiter and the Sun. There is a suggestion, therefore, that lots of ideas can be going backwards and forwards. The key is to be open-minded. Someone could give you a great concept to grapple with, or perhaps you're going to show your leadership, but certainly can have some inspired conversations. Also, as the year comes to a close, Venus is right alongside the midpoint between the Sun and the Moon in Aquarius. So I feel that you could be thinking very carefully about what you do for others, and if you're in a romantic relationship, whether the share of responsibilities is well balanced. But if you're single, it's possible that someone you work with could actually be taking your fancy, particularly if you're getting together with them at some kind of New Year function. If you'd like to know what 2020 will hold for you as an individual based on your time, date of place of birth, please click on the link beneath this video. You can get your year's forecast and 30% off and the rest of 2019 free. But I would also like to say a very personal thanks for tuning into my videos over 2019. As you may know, I've gone through a difficult time over the last 3 or 4 years, both in my personal situation and around my health, as well as having the joy of meeting and marrying my wife. But I really appreciate all the views and the comments, and next year you're going to see a lot more of me on YouTube, a lot more lives, a lot more updates. But for now, I'd like to wish you a very happy Christmas and a happy new year. Thank you.